Friday, April 3rd, 2026. The real Jesus stands for love, justice, mercy, and faith, and humanity of all people, everywhere, every place.
To the blows that when the state came for him, he was the one who humbled himself and was sacrificed. Pope Leo's message is a message of a crucified God, a God who does not strike back. And that flies directly in the face of the theology and the political ideology of Pete Hegseth. I think this is especially a sting for Hegseth and for Trump, because this is the first American pope. This is somebody born and raised in Chicago, a place that is often the target of their ire and their ridicule. This is somebody who comes from the heart of the United States. He is not somebody from a faraway place. And so this direct rebuke, I think, hits harder because this comes from home and directly from the church.
Well, you're missing one person in that list of people who may be on the receiving end of this, J.D. Vance, who announced a book called Communion, with a church on the cover that it appears to be a Methodist church and not actually a Catholic church, even though this book is ostensibly about his conversion to Catholicism. What did you make of that?
Well, what I make of that is that an image that is supposedly supposed to recall the kind of Appalachian, landscape that JD wants us to think really represents who he is. That was more important to him than representing the church that called him home spiritually. But I actually think this is a moment that we should really notice, because on one hand, we have Pope Leo and others in the Catholic Church seemingly directly rebuking Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump. And then we have J.D. Vance, a Catholic, who has his own complicated relationship with the church and with the Pope. And so, for me, this is a moment where I think we can see potential fissures in the kind of Christian nationalist coalition that has been built up over the last decades. This is a place where Hegseth seemingly has responded by not allowing or holding a Catholic service at the Pentagon today on Good Friday. Employees at the Pentagon were specifically told there will be no Catholic service today. Was that in direct response to what the Pope said? Was that in direct response to Catholic clergy going into Broadview facility this week and washing the feet of those who are detained there? I don't know. But Hegseth has shown that he's directly involved in every culture war that comes up in the U.S. military forces. So it would not surprise me if a direct response was saying, actually, we're going to have a Protestants-only service this week on Good Friday. That recalls just centuries of American bigotry towards Catholics. And once again, it brings up a spotlight on someone like J.D. Vance and his relationship with the church, with Pete Hegseth, and with Donald Trump.
Yeah, Brad, and that caught my eye, too, because Doug Wilson, an extremist pastor close to Hegseth, very recently made comments about how, in his ideal world, Catholic processions would be banned and seen as idolatry. Brad Onishi, it's always good to see you. Thank you so much for your expertise. Ahead, Congressman Seth Moulton is raising alarms over online prediction markets allowing bets on the war in Iran, and he's going to be on the briefing to talk about all of that next.